Riders, welcome back to Sam's Bikes, where you know we only talk e-bikes with the lab rats in person, and we are talking ride concept shoes today. Dom and I have been on the TNTs, Julian and Bret on the Hellion clips, and a massive shout out to Andy from Ride Concepts and to Johnny and Miles from Lusty Industries in Australia for sorting this out. Let's check out how they stack up. But first, who are the lab rats? And Dominic, take it away, mate.
Yeah, so Sam tests a lot of products, and I was a bit concerned that he wasn't testing them enough. Yeah, the idea was that get a few guys from the local trails in Adelaide, and see if we can put some of these products to the test.
So basically, Dom, what you're trying to say is I don't ride hard enough.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, good. Thanks to know. All right, so introducing the lab rats. We've got Julian here, the hucker. He is an old school mountain biker, been riding for years, very good rider. He is on a Trek rail, a medium. He's sized down. We've got Bret, also a very good rider. He's been riding about 5 years, and he is on a Levo Gen 2. And we've got Dominic, the natural, who is an old school BMXer, first guy, one of the first guys in Adelaide to do a backflip. Amazing rider, and he is riding a very, very old school Merida E160. Dom and I are old school BMXers on the flat pedals. We both got the Sam Hill pedals, and we're rocking the TNTs. And Julian and Bret are on the Hellion, the new Hellion clips, and obviously they're riding clips. So we're going to start off with Dom and I on the TNTs. But first off, we've all been rocking Ride Concept socks. Now let's talk about them. You up, Julian? What do you think?
Yeah, look, I mean, comfy, but hard to put on. A little bit long.
Apart from that, they're a compression sock, so they're a little bit different. But yeah, no, they're good. I enjoy them.
Yeah, very comfortable, very long, and they look cool. You get to see the big RC on the side of your leg. So yeah, looks really cool.
I'll have my point of view. I reckon they are a little bit hard to put on. I reckon they also are a little bit long. I think they do look quite cool. They're very comfortable once they are on, in a compression sock. They also, for me, get a bit smelly. Like they seem to not air that well. But I'd buy them again. What about you guys? Would you get them?
I don't know. I reckon the length gets in the way of my knee pads.
Yeah. So it's a no from you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get them. I don't see any issue with them, personally.
What about you, Dom?
Yeah, no problem.
Sweet. Okay, so let's break it up now. And Dom and I will talk about the TNTs. So first off, Dom, how did you get on?
These are awesome. I really like them. I guess the main difference from the power lines is the strap at the top, which really adds more security and more comfort as well. I think it's great.
And how do you find the comfort compared to other riding shoes that you've had?
I mean, compared to the power lines, it's very similar. Maybe a little bit more support with the TNTs, but other brands that I've ridden with, it's no comparison. These are so much more comfortable and more secure in general. Really good.
So as I said, I've been riding mine for a year. I absolutely love my TNTs. I reckon comfort-wise, I think they are comfortable. They are a bigger, sort of burlier shoe. They're probably not my everyday shoe, but when we are riding the e-bikes, it's good to have the protection. So going on now, how protected do you feel in these shoes?
Yes, very. Highly recommended for this sport is having that security around your feet and your ankle, being a little bit higher as well. So I have no issues at all with hitting rocks. And
have you kicked any rocks with them?
Yeah, all the time. That you won't even notice. Like a snow boot.
Yeah, it is like a snow boot.
Yeah.
It is like it's a good way to describe it. Yeah. I reckon Dom used to do a bit of motorbiking. I reckon it's kind of similar to wearing a motorbike boot. Yeah. And you shouldn't be really riding what we do without a really good pair of shoes. I broke my foot like very badly 7 years ago, and I was riding Vans. I love Vans, but they have no place, no business being out on a mountain bike trail now. Like they just don't have the protection. Cool shoes, but don't have the protection. So now coming on to grip, and Dom and myself both have Sam Hill pedals. You need to have good pedals. How'd you find the grip, and how would you compare it to your older shoes, which were a 510 Freerider Pro?
I find the grip better suited to my riding on these shoes on the Ride Concepts, they feel stickier, but also they allow adjustment on the trail. So when your foot falls out of position and you're coming quickly into a difficult section, you can sort of get your feet back into position and get yourself ready. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to step in there and talk about my experience with the grip. I think that a 510 probably offers more grip. I'm going to say it's just a little bit more grip, but what I don't really like about a 510 is the fact you can't do the micro adjustments out on the trail. So like, if you're smashing down a downhill and your foot moves just a little bit, you can't do that micro adjustment. And I think on the Ride Concepts you can. Now coming down to value, and the TNTs, for a quick Google search, you can get them for around 100, 110 euros or about 180 to 250 Australian dollars. So how'd you find the value?
Well, for the power lines, so when we first tested these, I wasn't too sure. But now that's been about a year. And you can see here that they're actually in still very good condition. I still ride with these. And therefore, I would certainly rate them very good value. They haven't missed a beat. They have still in one piece, so it's really good.
Nice. I think for value-wise and durability, I think you're going to be obviously comparing to 510s. They were my go-to shoes before. I'd say they last as long, and so they're just as well built.
Yeah.
Agree?
But they're a better shoe.
But they're a better shoe. There you go. Okay, now let's just compare it against like your power lines, other shoes on the market. How do you think that TNT compares?
I don't see a big difference with the power lines. The strap is nice. I'm not sure whether makes a huge difference to me. It certainly might be more a pro thing. But in terms of other shoes, no, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't go back. I still have my 510s, and I have tried them on a couple of times since testing these, and it's completely different. It's different altogether.
So the $1 million question: you're going to buy those shoes today? If I take these back off you, are you going to buy them today?
Yeah, well, I've still got a few Ks in the power line.
All right.
But yeah, definitely next round, I would be looking up these for sure.
I mean, definitely for me, like I think the TNT, the Ride Concept TNT, for me, and Ride Concepts are not a sponsor of the channel. For me, they do offer me the best protection and the best grip. Not the best grip, but for my style, like you said, for my style of riding, I do like to make those micro adjustments. So I'm going to say, yeah, these are my standout go-to flat pedal shoes. Okay, Dom, thanks for your time, buddy. Really appreciate it. Okay, now on to Bret and Julian on the Hellion clips. First up, Julian, how comfortable were those shoes?
Yeah, look, they're comfortable. I think shoes are shoes. If I don't notice them, I'm happy. And I didn't notice these on my feet. Feet didn't get hot. They, didn't kick too many big rocks to these ones, but yeah, they did the job.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
What about you, Bret?
For me, I'm only comparing them to the other style, the transitions. These feel a lot more lighter, like a skate shoe. They've got a lower cut. Also noticed they're a larger amount of adjustment in your cleat.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say one thing I love is the straps.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about doing your shoelaces up too tight. You just yank the strap.
Yeah.
So I haven't worn these shoes, so I'll just be doing the interviewing. But Julian, how did you find the protection?
Yeah, look, they're a lighter shoe compared to the transitions, but I like that a bit better.
Yep.
I like having a bit of a lighter shoe on. Protection-wise, they feel like they've got more protection than the other shoes that I wear. So my other go-tos are some Shimano shoes.
Yep.
They're a bit lighter, a bit quicker to get into, but these definitely, protect your toes a bit more.
Okay, good,
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Bret?
I'm just going to put it into like an everyday context. Most people, whenever they get to jump on a mountain bike, they go to Target, they get a $20 slip-on, and it's only when you kick your first rock or put your foot down that you really do some damage. I would say most people really need to look at shoes a little bit more. It's the same as knee pads.
Yep. Oh, I think Most definitely. Someone I broke my foot in like 5 places, and I was wearing a pretty rubbish pair of shoes. Definitely shoes are important, really important.
Either you break a toe or you drop a toenail, they both bloody hurt.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
For me, yeah, skate shoes, this style will suit most people.
Yep.
Protection-wise, I kicked a few rocks. Yeah, you feel a little bit more, but in the way of that, I didn't hurt myself in any way.
So we're talking about protection here, and we're kind of jumping forward because Bret and Julian were on the transition. So good work, Bret. Grab the transitions. So let's say, did you guys in Adelaide, did you feel safe enough in the Hellion, or would you prefer the transition?
I felt safe enough in the Hellions.
Yep.
These to me are like a heavier sort of knee pad, if we were to compare it to knee pads.
Yep.
Whereas a bit more of a lighter sort of trail knee pad, shoe, whatever,
Yep.
toe pad. These guys, I kicked some big rocks with these guys last summer.
Yeah.
I've been a little bit injured, so I probably haven't been riding as hard and haven't been tailing Bret as much, where he dislodges boulders all the time. So, look, I probably haven't tested these as hard as I did these guys.
Would it be fair to say these are probably more a race shoe? So if you're really pushing the limits, you'd be want to wear something like that because you might be making more areas when you're racing than just training.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, these are just sort of more everyday shoe. These are, a bit more heavy duty, for sure.
What about yourself, Bret?
For me, I've come from transitions. I really noticed at first, these are literally the most comfortable shoe that I've probably ridden. Literally feels like a skate shoe. Just an everyday globe that you put on. You don't even notice them, which is really, really good. You can just clip in, clip out. I love the extra adjustability on them. But apart from that, they're really good. I enjoy them.
And what about, so if you're racing, which shoes are you going to?
Me, I'm always going to go the transitions for racing.
Yeah.
Everyday shoe that you just ride natural trails with, I would be picking these up. Yeah,
because going back, so Julian, like I remember when we were talking about the transitions, you were saying you wanted a shoe that was easier to get on. Like, did you find that easier to get on?
Yeah, these are a bit easier to get into, just so they don't have the high cut on the ankle.
Yep.
Put slides right in.
So my feedback is I haven't tried these, but I have done a fair bit of time on the transitions. I found the transitions a fantastic shoe, but they are a burly shoe. Like, they're something that I'd be racing in, riding hard trails in. You definitely feel super safe and super confident in them, but it might not be my everyday shoe. So it's good to see they've come out with that.
One thing to cut in, those took a fair bit more wearing in, as you say. They're a
stiffer shoe.
Yep. And you needed to ride them a bit to get them a bit more malleable. They sort of molded to you. These from day one were very malleable. You can feel it in the sole too.
Yeah, good point. And you said the clip box is bigger on the Hellion clip. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's good.
Yep.
100%. It's you can get a close up of it anyway. It's longer, so you won't get mud or build up around the back of it.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, compared to that.
Yeah, definitely. And let's talk about build quality, and we can probably go back to the transitions. How do you think they last?
I've now done a fair few wet rides over winter in those. They take a while to dry out like any shoe, but they're good. They last.
Yep.
That's one thing that we don't usually ride as much of, but we had a fair bit of wet riding over the last winter.
Yep. And that goes on to value now. These shoes, let's say that a quick Google search, you can find them for maybe 180, 250 Aussie, or 100 euros, 150 euros, something like that. Do you think they represent good value, okay value, standard value?
To me, it seems like about standard price. You pay for what you get for, but you get what you pay for.
Yes.
You get what you pay for. So, look, I mean, these have been pretty good quality. I've noticed it's a small thing, but the tag on the tongue is fraying on both my shoes. But besides that, nothing else has sort of failed on them. So, and same with the transitions. These are probably even more solid. I've got no issues except for a few scuffs from kicking big rocks.
Yeah.
So,
what about yourself, Bret?
No, I've had really no issues with mine. Standard thing, mine.
Your label hasn't frayed?
No, it hasn't. No, my label has not frayed. Everything else is pretty good with these.
Yep.
I don't really have too much else.
And on the transitions, you were happy with how they lasted? Because you've had them for about 18 months, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, still going strong.
Yeah, good. going to put my 2 cents in. I'm not sure if it's my riding style, but I have worn out only in like 2 months, 3 months, the side which hits the crank, but it could be my riding style. Not sure. I would love to see in that area. Do you remember the old school Vision streetwear skate shoes that had Kevlar over where you do an ollie?
Yeah.
And it was where I'd like to see some type of Kevlar or something put up into that corner. Could be my riding style. Have you guys noticed anything wearing out in that area?
These are a bit lower cut.
Yeah, but in your transitions?
Yeah, I had some wearing in the higher patch there.
Yeah, I'd say that would be pretty cool. Could be. I definitely, when I'm going downhill, I kind of grab the crank with my inner.
Yeah, I don't get that with these.
No.
You're sitting in the same spot.
Yeah.
With clips.
Yeah. Okay, and now let's compare it to other shoes you used on the market. Are they a winner? Are they comparable? Are they better? Are they worse?
Comfort-wise, I reckon they're comparable. Protection-wise, I think they're superior.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And which one, if you were just to pick one pair of shoes, which one would you be going for?
Probably go on these guys 'cause they're a bit more comfortable.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and down to you, Brett. How comparable, other shoes you've had in the market, and which only shoe do we be going for?
Comparable in the market, I can't really come from too much of a background. I haven't ridden too many other shoes. But what I can say is 510s are really hard to get hold of at the moment, and everyone's looking for another really good shoe to have a crack at. So this is something you definitely want to have a look at. For me, if I'm going to buy one, I'd buy the transitions purely because I'm still doing a bit of racing and I want that extra protection.
Yeah. I'd just breaking my foot, I'd just go the extra protection. Now, quickly, if they were to ask you how to make them better, the Hellion clips, what would you do? Anything different?
I think I said that last time about these guys, but just have an option which was a more quick release, quick access, like a boa or something,
Yeah.
That'd be my only suggestion.
What about you, Brett?
Yeah, very similar feedback. I've done a few shoelaces just from pulling them.
Yeah.
And it's quicker. Literally, if you just got a thing, you click and turn. Because the strap is really what you're tightening your shoe up with anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about damn laces.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a ratchet or something, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any old school cities?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did they have the clips?
They're the ratchets.
Yeah, I had old school cities when I was racing mountain biking years ago, and they had like 3 clips on them, almost like rollerblading clips.
No,
It's
similar.
Yeah, they were wicked.
We're both riding Shimano's, and they've got it's just a little lever, and you go click, 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 and
Yeah.
it's done.
Yeah, I think boa is cool, but I've seen it break as well.
Yeah, I've broken those ratchets as well.
Okay.
If you come down on the side and you can blow them out, but they're quick and easy.
They just do a string that goes through there, and then it's got a little quick release little lever, but you just pull it tight, slide the thing down, because this is what's holding you.
Yeah.
What the Shimano's got is good in terms of that string. I have broken that string.
How hard are you yanking on it?
Pretty hard.
When I'm fit, I'm pretty strong. But yeah, no, look, I've broken that string. I've broken a ratchet. That stuff break. Nothing's perfect, but they are quick and easy to get in and out of.
I wouldn't mind just having a stick up. Going back over all the shoes I've ridden. Did you ever have the Shimano DX?
Yeah.
With the that covered the Velcro strap with the shoelace.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool just to have like one big bit of Velcro that just straight over.
That's what the Shimano's have got as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that.
It's good for
I'd dig that.
Yeah.
Good for whether these you gotta. Well, I've found, especially on the transitions, you gotta add a bit of duct tape, but that's the standard with any shoe.
When it's wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found them.
Stops the toe getting wet straight away.
I found the transitions not very waterproof, but with a good set of. I got some merino wool socks when Bear doesn't steal them, and they work like any good winter wet socks. These are fine. And now, $1 million question: if you had no shoes tomorrow, which ones are you going to buy?
I would buy these again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1 million. Yeah. If I was coming into the market and I wanted like a nice, easy skate shoe without as much, but more for comfort, these are far better.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Mate.
Thank you so much for your time. And riders, if you have any questions on the Hellion clips, put them in the show notes. We'll get back to you. And you know it. Stay safe out there and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.